I'm having a little snack in between my dance and sun number. Okay. 1 second though, guys. I ate green. Green's yummy. No, I don't. Okay. Alright. I love those commercials. They're so cute. Okay. So, I'm going to be singing another Symphony song. The other one was Symphonies. This one's Symphony. And this one's by Switch. So, this one's a Christian one. The other one's more just like a love song to just like another human, not like to God. Okay. So, here we go. I think I have the volume turned down on each. Okay, we're good. Sometimes it's hard to breathe. All these thoughts, they're okay, that's too fast. That's too fast. What the heck? Let's try this again. Sometimes it's hard to breathe. All these thoughts, they shout at me, try to bring me to my knees. And it's overwhelming. Darkness echoes all around. Feels like everything is crashing down. Still, I know my hope is found. And it's only you. You say you're working everything for my good, and I believe every word. Even in the madness, there is peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you are writing a symphony, a symphony. Even in the madness, there is peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you are writing a symphony, a symphony. To my heart, to your beat, let me be your melody, even when I cannot see. But you orchestrate it, even when the dark surrounds. You'll never let me drown. I know that my hope is found in the name of Jesus. Ooh, ooh. I believe every word, 'cause even in the madness, there is peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you were writing your symphony, your symphony. In the madness, there is peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you were writing your symphony, your symphony. Truly no, compose beautiful, unruly notes, moving close. I see scales for my eyes, my life, chaos played off, revealing through strife, suffering, painful suffering, bound by so loud. Melody is made. It's not even the words, like it's just random, tuned up instruments. It's just like life's tempo. Even in the madness, there is peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you were writing your symphony, your symphony. Even in the madness, there is peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you were writing your symphony, your symphony. Oh, 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 oh. Symphony. Oh, 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 oh. Your symphony. Alright, guys, that is it for singing today. It's Sunday. I went to an Assembly of God church today. This is the second Assembly of God church that I have been to. the first one I went in high school with my friend McCray. I think I went there 2 times because I wanted to give it a second chance. But so it was my friend Roy, who I went to grade school with, who was like a year older than me, I think. And then he had like a younger brother who was it the Fairbanks family? Maybe. I don't know. And then his younger brother was younger than me. Maybe it was Shane. I don't know. What's his brother's name, right? I don't remember. Okay. So they became friends with my friend McCray. They went to like the same high school together, and I had gone to the same grade school as these other 2 boys. And then McCray and I met this summer between my freshman year of high school and his like his 8th grade year in middle school. So we had like a mutual friend, Catherine, and like her brother was friends with McCray and like a bunch of other guys. And so when I was hanging out with Catherine, like these guys were all hanging around and like we all hung out. And so McCray taught me how to play basketball, and like we just formed like a really good friendship. We're still really good friends now. His dad was a Baptist. Well, his stepdad was a Baptist minister, and then he had some questionable faith things because he like did inappropriate things to McCray's sister, and it, like I don't know, it was like so he like questioned his like faith and a bunch of other stuff, and like I was questioning like being Lutheran at the time, and so like we kind of bonded over that as well, just like talking about religion in like 8th and 9th grade, like so like yeah, so we'd play basketball, we talk about that, and then like just stuff that was going on with him and like trauma he was going through and like, my trauma that I was going through. So like we formed like a really good friendship. There was a very brief period where we had crushes on each other, but it didn't last very long. So basically, where was I going on this tangent? So like he was trying this Assembly of God church with my 2 friends from my Lutheran grade school, and so like he asked me to come and like check it out with him, so because we talked about religion a lot, so I was like, sure, yeah, I'll come, cool. So like I go there, and like basically like Roy was like, they like sit me down on like the floor, and they're like, you need to confess that you are a Christian and like all this before we go to church. And I'm like, you already know that. Like I was like, yeah, sure, I'm a Christian. I was like, what? Why are we having this like really serious, intense conversation before I even go to your church? Like I have to basically commit to being Christian before I even explore your church. I thought that was very weird and a little like controlling and manipulative. And I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this church right now. Like if this is how it's going to be, I can't just go and check it out and like see like how I feel about it. Like I have to literally like confess myself as a Christian prior to going to the church. It was a little weird. So like I didn't like that. And then like we get there, and I mean, it seemed like a normal church service for the most part. It was a little more contemporary than what I was used to at the Lutheran church. And then like his, they did prayer, and they like, everybody was talking, like, is like, they're like speaking in tongues. Like everybody's talking at the same freaking time. It was like very like difficult to concentrate. All these people are like out loud praying like about completely different things. Why aren't we doing like a silent prayer? Like this is very weird. Like I was like, I don't understand. Like, so I didn't like that. I didn't like the distracting prayer thing. And like I've been to one non-denominational church that did that recently, and they were like trying to force everybody to get baptized. Like they called me, like I had literally just gone there as a visitor, and like they called me that night and like invited me to come and be baptized. And like, first of all, I'm already baptized. Like I do want to get rebaptized to wash off the sin of my divorce, because I feel like my belief system, everything I've like been learning, I think you should get baptized as a baby, but I also think you should get baptized as an adult, because you don't even have sin as a baby. So like I think it's important to baptize babies, but at the same time, like they're basically innocent. So like who needs to be baptized are the adults. Like the adults are the ones who are the sinners and doing bad things. And like Jesus and John the Baptist got baptized as adults. So like I just whatever. So like there's a church, I've been going to a non-denominational church that does I've talked to the pastor, and he does a baptism class, which I thought was kind of cool because I did like communion classes. So he was going to do this like baptism class with me, and then I was going to have, it's called a New Eve celebration. So I was going to have like basically like a quinceañera party. I've been trying on quinceañera dresses, and so like I found one that I really want that's in Corpus that they keep going down in price. So I'm going to pick it up whenever I have money again, because I have money, I just don't have access to my
card because it was fraudulent activity, and now I'm stuck without a rental because they will not take a check or anything. I don't know why I'm having my hands like that. Sorry, guys. Without a credit or a debit card. So, like, I don't know. So, like, and my ex and I did Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, and we paid off like $48,000 in debt, which was 90% his debt, which just makes me freaking furious that, like, all that money, like, I had, like, planned to, like, travel the world, like, do all these things, and, like, none of that shit happened because I married the wrong person and got stuck paying for his fucking debt with him. Like, whatever. So, anyway, so that's, like, what? I had an $8,000 student loan debt, so I helped him pay $20,000 to help pay off that I should fucking take his ass to court for and get, honestly. Like, so, yeah, so basically, things I could do with that money. Okay, so anyway, so, like, I am, like, so, like, in Dave Ramsey's, they said you should not have credit cards. Credit cards are, like, bad, whatever. So, like, because I'm starting this, like, business, I thought it would be helpful to have a credit card. It would be, like, my business credit card. The problem is I registered as individual credit card because I don't actually have a business yet. Like, I don't have, like, I have an idea, but I don't have, like, I haven't, like, I have, like, a lot of steps that I need to take prior to it actually being established as a business that I can use it as a business card. So, like, I don't know. So basically I applied for an individual credit card thinking it would get here before the debit card would arrive, because apparently my bank account forgot to order my debit card. Even though I was on the phone with them, they said they were going to order it. I called them, like, where is it? It's been like a week. And they're like, oh, they never ordered it. And I'm like, are you effing kidding me right now? I was like, I just got into a collision, like a collision car accident. Like, my car is basically going to be totaled because the airbag's deployed, and I have no mode of transportation. Like, I'm literally a sitting duck or a hitchhiker or, like, a needy friend who's just calling people and asking her to drive her around all the time, which I don't like being any of those things. But it's been interesting. I met some interesting people, like, at the laundromat. Some nice old man drove me back to, like, home. And then, like, a few days later, I saw in the newspaper that women are getting abducted in the same city and there's missing bodies everywhere. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm taking rides with strangers. Like, this is not good. So there's that. So then today I walked to church. It was half a mile. It was the closest Christian church to me. So I walked there because I asked a couple neighbors that I met yesterday if any of them were going to church, and none of them are really churchgoers. So, so I just walked by myself. So anyway, so this Assembly of God Church, they did not do any, like, out loud distracting prayer ritual thing. Sermon pastor is a little bit of a chauvinistic pig. Very much focused on, like, male dominance and, like, female, like, I was horrified by his sermon, to be honest. Like, his sermon was okay, but, like, his personality in the sermon was the problem. So, like, it's a little disgusting. So, I don't know, but they have, like, these small groups that meet kind of all over, and one actually meets on the, like, at a location on the street that I can, like, walk, like, a 2-minute walk to go to. So, and she said they do, like, a Bible study, and then they do, sometimes they go to lunch. Sometimes, so I thought that'd be, like, a good networking opportunity. With my business being here in Bandera, part of it being here and part of it being elsewhere, and then it's going to be global eventually, but we're not there yet. So, I signed up to be part of their, like, one of their women's small groups that meets close to my RV. So, I just put, like, a little form, filled out a form, and they'll get in touch with me when the next one is, so I can go to that, which is good. People were really friendly. I thought it was a little weird that, like, the, like, greeters and the people who had, like, beverage monitor jobs or whatever just hung out in the fellowship hall for the whole service. Like, they weren't even participating. Like, that was a little weird. They had, like, tea, really good raspberry tea, which was, like, delicious. I got a second. And then with the same tea bag. And so that was delicious. And then they had water, no snacks or anything really. They had, like, sign up on their iPad that you were a new person, and, like, with your address and information, so they can, like, email you, contact you, whatever. Like, did you walk? How far did you walk from? And, like, luckily it was still, like, I went to the earliest service because I was walking and I didn't want to be walking in, like, the heat of the day at like noon. So like I did the like 9 a.m. service and got back here by 10:30. So I sweat a little bit, but not too bad. I just had to like clean myself off with some paper towel in there and fix my hair. But otherwise, it wasn't too bad. It was good exercise. Dancing the whole way down because life is a musical, guys. Like, make it one. It's way more fun that way. Especially if you had this shit 9-month year that I've had so far. Yeah, so that was good. They did not have Bibles in the pews, which if you've been following my denomination detection, that's like a requirement for me. Is you need to have a Bible in the pew. They had open communion, which I participated in today, so that's good. That hits my checkbox. Didn't see a baptismal font, but they advertised that they had it called a baby dedication. And I asked like one of the people, because you said hi to the people like around you, like in the middle of service. Some people call it like passing peace, like passing hands, like welcoming, like greet, I don't know, whatever. They had like a weird name for it that I don't even remember what it was. But it, like, basically right when we got there, like, you need to confess that you are a Christian and that you believe in Jesus. Like, that's what they said. Like, everybody needs to do this, like, right now at church. And I was like, this is a little forced. Like, I don't like this. So I don't think I'm going to go back to the church. I'm definitely going to go to the small group. I was not impressed with the pastor or the service. The music was really good. But it was everything was very Jesus focused. Like, no Holy Spirit mentioned. There was no God the Father mentioned. It was just Jesus, 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 Jesus. So I like asked somebody at the end, I was like, do you guys believe in the triune God? Or like, because I didn't hear anything mentioned of it. And she's like, oh, no. The what? This is what she said, the what? The triune God? And then she like looked confused. And I'm like, does she even know what she believes? And this is like one of the people who didn't go to service and just like sat in like their little fellowship hall, and they did not have like a speaker out there or anything. So I don't know what they're doing coming to there and just sitting out in the hallway when they could go to church. Like, they don't need to monitor their like little welcome iPad. Like, there's not going to be people coming through the door in the middle of service, and they don't need to be monitoring their beverage station. Like, there was literally like 10-15 people in the fellowship hall during service. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, you don't want to go to church? You just want to sit outside? Like, I don't understand. So I don't know. But like, the woman who like met with me in the beginning, she was like nice and like asking me if I needed a ride back, and I was like, that would be nice. And then she like never followed up on it like afterwards, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk back. So yeah, so Assembly God, not for me. Maybe it's for you, so I encourage you to try it. Like I said, they have really good music. It was just a little too Jesus focused for me. Not that I don't believe in Jesus. I just would have liked a mention of the Holy Spirit and God the Father and anything there wasn't any of that. It was everything was thank you Jesus, Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus, 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 and I'm like, this is too much Jesus. Like, what happened to the rest of God? Like, this is just one part of him. So like, I didn't like that. And then communion, I was glad they did open communion. I like that, and they did I did really like this. So they had like a whole explanation as to when it's okay to take communion and when it's not, and they focused on saying if you have like a disconnect with God, or you have like hatred in your heart for God, or you have hatred in your heart for another believer, or you have like hatred in your heart for anyone, you should not be taking communion. And like, all